At first, all seemed very quiet, very still, and I wondered why I had awoken. Then, with a missed heartbeat, I realized that Spider was up and standing at the door. Every hair of her body was on end, her ears were pricked, her tail erect, the whole of her body tense, as if ready to spring. And she was emitting a soft, low growl from deep in her throat. I sat up paralyzed, frozen in the bed, conscious only of the dog, and of the prickling of my own skin, and of what suddenly seemed a different kind of silence, ominous and dreadful. And then, from somewhere within the depths of the house, but somewhere not very far from the room in which I was, I heard a noise. Tonight I am reviewing The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. This is a horror novella from 1983. This is a new edition from Vintage Classics, The Red Spines. Beautiful cover. Susan Hill's writing style was very nice. I enjoyed it very much, and I loved her descriptions. I think this cover picture concluded the feeling of those, very suitable. It's kind of creepy and airy and very mysterious with all the bad weather and creepy feelings. A lot of suspense, which I love. The classic gothic tale, with the haunted house and this small town where weird things happen, mists and rain and an abandoned graveyard and ghosts. The book is told by a man who is a lawyer called Arthur Kepps, and he's supposed to go to this small English town to represent his firm and go to the funeral of Alice Drablow, Mrs. Alice Drablow, and also sort out her papers for the firm. And he goes there and he meets a few people, start talking to them, goes to the funeral, and realizes that this town is kind of weird and creepy and ghostly, really. um, but it doesn't really start until he goes out to the mansion, which is a bit outside of town. No one wants to go there. No one wants to buy the land or the house or anything. It's just bad omen. And Arthur basically meets the woman in black, or sees her. He also sees a bunch of school kids in line, um, which is just freak me out. That's children in gothic tales are the most freaky things ever. So yeah, this mansion is basically where everything happens, sort of. I mean, the whole town is sort of cursed by these people who are connected to the mansion where Mrs. Alice Drablow lived, where Arthur goes and he ends up sleeping over, which is stupid. There's this room he can't open, but he can hear sounds from there, and he can feel something in the house. And actually, besides this house, there's this abandoned graveyard, which is very creepy. He actually gets to borrow a dog, which is cute, called Spider. I like that a lot. But it's very suspenseful, and I love her description of the suspense, but also about um, the scenery and the house and the overall feelings in this entire. It's only 200 pages, but the feelings are very descriptive, and yeah, it just got to me. I felt like I was in this when I read it, and it's a very good gothic tale if that's what you like, or maybe for Halloween. This would be a great book for Halloween. In 2012, a new film adaptation came out with Daniel Radcliffe. I saw that before reading this book, and it was freaky. It was scary, but the ending is different. So if you like ghost stories, read this book. It was unlikely to blow away tonight, and then those memories of childhood began to be stirred again, and I dwelt nostalgically upon all those nights when I had lain in the warm and snug safety of my bed in the nursery at the top of our family house in Sussex, hearing the wind rage round like a lion, howling at the door and beating up the windows, but powerless to reach me. I lay back and slipped into the pleasant trance-like state somewhere between sleeping and waking, recalling the past and all its emotions and impressions vividly, until I felt I was a small boy again.